Ready?
Yeah.
You look ready.
She's ready. He's ready. I'm ready. I hope you're ready. It's Sunday night. That means it's at Weeks in the Spoiler Field. Look back at this week in comics, the fandom, and so much more. Tonight, we're going to be discussing the penultimate episode for season 2 of Peacemaker, taking a stroll down the new history of the DC universe, looking at some comic reviews, and drawing for the winner of the September Legion Loot, a massive prize pack for the channel members in the Legion tier. So check out that join button. Look at all the channel member stuff. Consider joining. And let's go. What's up?
Good to see that your video is working again after last week.
Yeah, it happened to Rob during Only Slabs. His scroll bar went away at some point in Only Slabs. He had the same little functionality issue, but it looks like it's working as of right now. I have a scroll bar. I'm able to scroll, so at any point in time, if someone drops a super chat or joins a membership, I can hit the Aquaman thing.
Warm blood. Okay. Like that.
Love it. Love it.
So tough.
Love it.
Jason Momoa is awesome. But what is going on, Paul? Steve, how are y'all doing?
Doing well. Doing well. How are you?
Doing well, brother. You?
I'm doing good, man. It's been a fantastic week, especially if you're a DC fan, not just with the Peacemaker show. That's a given at this point, but there's been some banger books that have dropped. I know I've spoken with both of you about them. I could hardly contain myself. And Paul is such an eager beaver that earlier today we were recording the DC deep dive for tomorrow. And he's like, just tell me, I'm not worried about it. And I went through, just sat here. I'm like, okay, I'll tell you. I just explained to him the entire 48 pages of DC KO that drops this coming week. I was at the comic shop. I don't have a copy. I haven't bought a copy, but I was able to read a copy at the comic shop. You know, the inventory's there that'll be coming out next week. But I can say ABX is fantastic, and he honors his obligations to these distributors, and he does his break street date. So I read it there at the shop, but back in the employee section. But man, I was so excited to see that it was there. And the shop was closed. I went up there to get some bags and boards, and Paul was up there hanging out. And he's like, "Hey, the DC rack is back there." I'm like, "Yes!" So man, I'm so excited about it. So excited about it. I can't wait for next week to get here to dive back into it. I'm excited for you to get that giant haul of books, Steve. When you open
my God. Yes, it's coming in tomorrow, dude. I am freaking stoked. It's going to have to be my video for tomorrow because I was not able to get hardly anything in Kansas City today. So I'm excited to get $200 in comic books coming in tomorrow from AB, my long distance comic shop. Let's go.
Yeah, and they're linked in the description. If you don't have a comic shop, Steve doesn't. He's not a close, convenient one, and he could set up a pool list anywhere, but he pulls from Augusta, Georgia, which Steve actually has a history with Georgia. So he's been here a time or two in the past. So it makes sense. But ABX Comics and Games is the community's comic shop. Steve pulls there, Brian LCS, Roscoe, the Adventurous One, Joseph Michaels, House of L Comics. A lot of people in this community have taken advantage of the fact that they want a good comic shop that's going to have the books they're looking for and easy to talk to. He's like one of the nicest guys in the world. And that personal touch, even if you're not local, and they do free shipping on orders over $100. I do believe he told me to say that a long time ago, and I still say it, so I still hope it rings true. So
I'm really, really, really excited about that, dude. Yeah, and he is the easiest person to talk to. Message him every week about what I want. I try to do it ahead of time. Sometimes I don't. Most of the time I don't. He's still really great about it. He's like, hey, if I can't get it, I can try to order it for you. I don't have this covered. Let's try this cover. I'm like, okay, cool. He's super easy to work with. A great guy.
I got to tell you, Steve, I can almost pick up a baseball and throw it 5 times in one direction and hit ABX. Like I'm close, and I don't even pay attention to what's coming out. That's on us as customers.
Yep, it is. It 100% is.
But Paul, how are you? How's your week?
I am doing well. I had a good week. Since you told me about what's going on with DCKO, I can't wait to actually look at it this week.
Hearing it's one thing, seeing it, I promise, will still be a different experience.
And it's got the A cover is an acetate cover.
Wow.
I love a good gimmick, and we haven't had acetate covers since Dawn of DC Crisis on Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, right? It was
New Gods 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, because they had the Birth of a New God set.
Mm-hmm.
And I did get all 3 of those as well. It was Orion, Metron. I can't remember who the third one was.
Light Ray, was it Light Ray?
Light Ray, yeah, maybe. I think so. That sounds right. They should have honored him before he left this plane of existence.
Mm-hmm.
But what a banger series that is. Only one more issue to go. Yeah, there's so many good books coming out right now, and this week is no exception. Steve, I know you actually tuned back into live stream this morning, the random Sunday morning. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that every Sunday. I'm gonna do my best to do that. I've been trying to get back into making videos and trying to do a weekly stream, and haven't quite figured out the right timing for it yet. But I did a stream this morning, talked about the books coming out, what I'm getting, looked at some sellers on Facebook, laughed at most of them. There was 1 or 2 though. There was a couple there. I was like, okay, all right. There's some, like that last one for $2,000. Like that was a pretty nice lot, man. It was a pretty nice lot. Yeah. Coming out this week, this is what I'm getting. I'm gonna get an Absolute Batman 13. Action Comics 1091. It's the last one in the Mark Waid teenage Superboy run. Yeah. DCKO, of course, and then Aquaman 10 is what I'm getting. I believe I'm getting the blind bag version for DCKO as well. So
yeah, I like the long hair don't care format you had to your stream. It was really cool. It felt like the right atmosphere for a Sunday morning. Like, all joking aside, because that's like the last day of the weekend, everyone's just kind of chilling, and you're kind of doing the same thing on the stream. It's just really easy to just fun. Like hang. And Paul, it's a big week. It's a Guess That Key week, and not only that, it's a big week for tomorrow's DC deep dive.
Tomorrow morning we got 3 books we're talking about. We're talking about Absolute Superman number 12. We're talking about Absolute Green Lantern number 7, and we're talking about Absolute Evil. All 3 of them banger issues, incredible. The first year of the Absolute Universe is now done and complete, and they are starting year 2 in an incredible way.
Yeah, I gotta say, this was probably the most shocking book of the week, of many weeks. And we get into all the details and everything, but it shows you how masterfully crafted and well thought out the entire Absolute concept is. This is not something that they threw together as a gimmick, not by a long shot. Me and Paul are recording that video, and I'm referencing Death Metal issue 7, Dark Knight's Death Metal issue 7 with some of the stuff in it, like this.
And I'm referencing Green Lantern, Green Arrow number 76 from 1970.
The 70s. Yeah, it's impressive.
Is that the first book I should read when I get my whole stack?
No. I would say it needs to be the last Absolute book you read. And it's not necessarily for continuity purposes, but it's one of those things that the more Absolute books you have under your belt, just the harder it hits.
Okay.
Like, even if it's the only Absolute book you picked up this week, you wouldn't know the difference. It's not a reading order thing. Kind of like how here in recent times, the Superman books come out the same week as the Justice League, and you might want to read one before the other because it'll directly push into one. It's not like that, but man, like every single panel of Absolute that you've read, it's all a payoff because of how just well this is put together. It's shocking. The whole book from the front cover is nothing but a giant twist. And yeah, dude, there's going to be one page you're going to want to read a couple of times when you get to the smiling man's turn to talk kind of thing. You're going to want every word of detail in it. It's so well done.
And then you said Wednesday night is Guess That Key. We have it's a Comics Curing Cancer special. So we have Mark, we have DJ, we have Rob, and we have a special Comics Curing Cancer giveaway that we're giving away, including one of 10 metal covers of Matt Wilson, the 2025 art book.
Signed.
Metal cover signed.
Hell yeah.
That was $100 book right off the bat. Just that one, and that's one of numerous. There's also the Hell Crow in there, the Crow Dead in Ace Continuado, Dead Time exclusive. Yeah, crazy cool giveaway.
So that's 9:00 Wednesday night on my channel. So if you're free, come on by. Have some fun.
Yeah. So a lot of good stuff coming up. So 10 a.m. tomorrow for the deep dive. And then be sure to come by. Definitely come by Wednesday night. Paul's linked in the description in any of all my videos. If you haven't subscribed to him, I don't know what you're waiting on. Just go down there, hit it, and all that. And also I want to let everybody know that it's October. It is very, very October.
Don't subscribe to me, of course.
We'll get there, Steve. We'll get there.
Maybe
But,
one day. Maybe one day.
Are you gonna? You're committed back to content again?
I mean, I'm gonna try to.
I'm just messing. Yeah, I assume that everybody that knows my channel knows your channel. That could just be like me, just being used to that, because we all get into our grooves and stuff. But the only reason I'm here is because of you. And I remember like all my viewers were just people that I met through you. But it's been a long time now, and I think I take that for granted. Like, you're naturally a channel, you're a person on this platform that I look up to that brought me into this platform. I don't think about that very often, but if y'all haven't already checked out Steve's channel, Burt Family 54, you should do that. He's starting a brand new video series because he's a metrics guy. He really likes to dive into metrics on what stuff sells for. And a lot of times it's stuff directly related to his purchases and stuff that he picks up and stuff, which makes it unique and interesting to him versus just repeating a top 10 list from this source or that source. And he's doing a new series where he's taking a book out of his collection, breaking down when he bought it, how much he paid for it, what it's like sitting at now, and not just the dollar value, but the personal value it has to him and why it's in his collection. So you get every aspect of the book and why it's unique to him and everything. And it's really cool. So it comes with a story and data. And we've only got one episode of that.
You're definitely committed because you went and invested in a pink microphone.
I forgot about that. It looks white.
Oh my God. You're right. Yeah, that's true. That is true. No, we've come full circle, man. I had you on my YouTube live stream every week for 2 years or something like that, 2.5 years. And
as long as it would go for.
Yeah. And now I'm here. Hopefully going to try to make it every week. We'll see.
That'd be awesome.
That would be amazing. But yeah, I appreciate that.
And for full context, for anyone wondering, Steve's had an open invitation to this show for as long as I've been on YouTube. This isn't his first couple weeks here, but if it works for his schedule now where it hasn't before, that'd be, you're always more than welcome, my man.
Hell yeah. I'm excited. Well,
let's say hey to some of the people in the chat. Then we'll dive into some Peacemaker episode 7. We got Las Cruces in here. Looks like the world's like healing. You know what I mean? It's 2025. We got Paul here. We got Steve here. We got Las Cruces clocking in first in the comments. We got Ruby G in here. Like, tell me this isn't how things are supposed to be. Right? Ruby freaking G's got a brand new baby over there. My man's raising a family. He's still a phenomenal artist. Ruby, I need one of these of the Phantom, good sir. I need a Phantom art card to go with my Shadow art card. And if you want an art card, check out White Tiger Cool Common Collected over on Instagram. He does covers also. I have covers from him as well, but just thought about that. We got Pops in here. Drop in the channel member emojis. If you hit that join button, become a channel member, you get access to those loyalty badges next to your name, the custom emojis. If you join in the Legion tier, you get early access to content, member-only private streams, your name on the Legion loot wheel that'll be spinning tonight. So Bryant, what's going on? Was just on his channel talking about comics curing cancer. Kenny B, good to see you, homie. Hello. We got ABX in here. What's going on, Paul? The Adventurous One, what's up? Oh yeah, man. I was sorry to hear that. Yeah, his cousin passed away Friday from a heart attack.
Oh no.
We love you, bro. I'm born in Marietta. Look at that Georgia boy. He likes to pretend like he's from KC, but what's up with the plain t-shirt, Paul? One of my out weeks and highlights is watching to see what shirt you're going to be wearing. Yeah, that's a good point. What's going on, SCG? Burke, the man, the myth.
yeah. Hey,
What's going on, Matt? Good to see Heroes for Hire in here. Hello. Disappointed in Steve too. I was stoked when I saw that he was going to be on tonight. What does he do? Shows up with sleeves.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. What's going on, James? Warlord in here. It was good seeing him. That's another person. See, I only know James. Well, I know James now, but I only know him from you. Met him through the Burke stuff, hanging out on streams with you. Comic Vet, what is going on? Hashtag bird blindness. Yeah. Yo, Agent Flurry was missing from episode 7.
He's going to be in Superman Man of Tomorrow. It was put out there today.
I heard an interesting theory about him.
We'll get there. Let's get through here. Phil, what is going on? He won this is the winner of this past week's new DC Day giveaway. That should be to you if it's not already there. Steven with the C, A1 from day one. What is going on, brother? Good to see you in here. Steve is an OG, absolutely. See, this microphone reminds me about a certain story where you walked into a room of school with the radio room.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
there's so much lore.
That was something that I did not want to witness that I did, unfortunately.
What is going on, George? You got the 757 Hustle Show in here. Good to see you, homie. What's up? What's up? So let's get into it. Peacemaker, episode 7, the penultimate episode from this 02 short season. It's been half-hour episodes the whole way through, but they still deliver. They still hit with the punch. They still leave you wanting more. The emotional beats, the laughs, it's all there.
And we're promised almost an hour episode this week. So
yeah, 57 minutes and some odd seconds. James Gunn didn't have the nerve to call it 58 minutes, but so let's cut back to Flurry for a minute. So it was put out there. He's confirmed for Superman Man of Tomorrow.
It is. Yeah. It put out there today and everyone was making a jokes like, what is he going to call Hawk Girl? Duck Girl or something? He's got that bird blindness. He doesn't know what a hawk is.
When Superman flies, it's a duck. It's a plane.
Yeah.
It's Superman.
Yeah, no, it's put out across the Twitter sphere today that he's going to be in that new movie for sure. So yeah,
Man.
I didn't even realize. Yeah, you're right. He wasn't in the last episode. It was a great episode. It did not go how I thought it would go whatsoever. I thought it'd be like a cliffhanger leading into the final episode, but it kind of felt like it wrapped up some things, but not all. And then we got the trailer for the next week, and it like I said, it did not go the way I thought it went. I was really, really, really glad to see our guy Vigilante.
Oh
my God, he was so funny. He's so good. And they've seen that clip from James Gunn talking about how that's not a character you're supposed to like, but he's such a good actor, that they just made it so much fun and everyone loves him because of it. So
it's kind of I compared this show this past week. This is the superhero version of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They are all absolutely terrible people that are model examples of what not to be and what not to do. And they're all trying to coexist, but somehow you love them all. It's wild. I would say that the idea of them announcing and talking so much about Superman right now, it's kind of rough. I kind of want to get away from Superman stuff and get further into the DCU stuff.
Right.
we got at least 6 months before they even start filming Superman. So it's like
it's that fast. They've rushed it up that fast.
April.
Jeez, that's crazy to me. Man, I didn't even hear that till right this second. What's going on, Kevin Davis? James Gunn calling fans racist who didn't like Peacemaker season 2 episode 6 isn't the right move. There's nothing funny about racism at all.
I didn't see him calling people racist. I said no. I read that he just said that he has no time for people who.
Yeah, he said I saw a comment said he's just leave them by the whatever.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think it's hard to say there's nothing funny about racism at all when he literally just did a show where you're laughing about racism, like Nazis and like it's not minimalizing the horror of it, but it's found a humorous way to spotlight the horror of it.
Right.
He also said he talked to the actress that played ads the whole time
and the actor who played Keith. He gave them the scripts all in advance and said, look, this is where this is going to make sure they're comfortable with it. Same thing for Adebayo, for Keith, because you're going to have to be the one portrayed like this terrible person. Are you going to be,
right?
But hey, talking about that, let's just jump straight to the biggest plot twist of episode 7, which is clearly the unsung hero of Earth X, Robert freaking Patrick T-1000, the Blue Dragon, with the plot twist of the year, face to face with Peacemaker, Economos, and Harcourt standing by his son. And as soon as she calls him a Nazi, just the offended look. Don't call me that. I don't believe what they believe. The big reveal that on this world, this Nazi world, where the normal people are Nazis, he's still against the grain. He still runs different than everyone else, and he's not one of them.
That's wild to see because like he's the opposite in the main universe,
Right.
Yeah. We all felt like he ruled this universe with his iron cross, you know what I mean? But no.
Yeah, Paul's right.
Surviving it.
That Paul, go and talk about that because that was
Vigilante got to him, and he's like,
Yeah, second time's a charm. If y'all remember, he got the white dragon like that in season 1.
Mhm.
White
I don't
Dragon was
remember
about
that.
to kill. Yeah, he had Peacemaker down on the ground. And he was about to shoot him, and Vigilante flies over the hood of the car with the knife and starts hitting him in the neck and messes up the tech on his suit where he couldn't aim anymore. And while Vigilante is stabbing him in the neck, he's saying, "I can't get through the armor." So this came full circle. It
Oh,
came full
dude.
circle. Second time's a charm.
I did not realize. I should have went
Yep.
back and watched it.
Yeah, but yeah, it was wild, dude. That was heartbreaking to have that whole speech of him not he wasn't even judging hardcore. He's like, look, if you battle every wrong in your world that's pitch perfect, good for you, but I'm too old and I don't have the energy to do that here. All I can do is fight the monsters, murderers, and demons that's right in front of me, and just hope that when I die and I'm in front of my creator, he sees I tried my best. I'm like, golly, and then straight through the window.
5 seconds later, he did meet his creator.
you about to get the answer. That gutted me, dude. That was rough. Like, it legitimately, seeing that's John Cena's face in that moment. Just
he put on. I mean, he must have learned a lot of acting when he was doing wrestling stuff, because his portrayal, the way that he reacted when he was like, "No!" It was like the way he screamed and everything. It was incredible. It was probably his best acting scene that he's done so far the 2 seasons.
easily. Me and Pops were talking, and I don't know, like, it has to be his performance helped elevate the scene when Keith busts through the wall and he's fighting, but then Vigilante and Hardcore and everyone jumps and grabs Keith to try to, it takes all of them to hold him down, and Vigilante stabs him. Like it had to be his acting, because that scene, like it seemed like I've seen a lot of stuff in my life, a lot of crazy stuff in movies, but that seemed very, very raw and very, very brutal. This person who just lost his brother, lost his dad, fighting just on pure rage, just being held down and just stabbed, and there's nothing he can do to stop it. And I told Pops, it reminded me of Saving Private Ryan, like that scene, that bayonet fight at the end where that dude got slow stabbed and stuff. It just seemed very, very, very brutal to me. But his reaction was insane.
Well, what's interesting is that, like, in the main universe, obviously Chris has lost his dad and his brother, both of them by his doing. And on the other universe, you have Keith losing his brother and his dad. You know what I mean? So and then obviously in both, Chris feels responsible for both universes, right? So
yeah, even though it's Vigilante doing all the work now. Judo Master is the GOAT.
How many people have you killed? Have you killed by putting a phone line in a pool?
Yeah.
Oh, 4.
Yeah.
And to that point, that's a good reminder. I haven't shown it yet, but you can get your very own copy of Judo Master, featuring the first appearance of Tiger in today's Legion Loot giveaway. That's also the first appearance of Sasha Bordeaux in Detective Comics 751, the cybernetic eye chick who's like Rick Flag's. I don't know. I think Rick Flag's just trying to bang somebody in everything he's going to be in at this point.
Oh, he totally is. He totally is.
But yeah, let me show these off real quick. These are the ones that'll be given away tonight. They've got the, I love my indie books. Not the same ones most people do, but I got a brand new Phantom #1 from Mad Cave and the brand new Blue Falcon and Dynamite.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the 1 in 10 Virgin variant. And then you got the ones you saw with the first appearance of Sasha Bordeaux, as well as Tiger and Judo Master. Also did a character spotlight for Checkmate 1 through 5, featuring Sasha Bordeaux as the primary leader of the team there. Tons of characters in this, all Liber Mejo covers. Got some big-time collectibles exclusives there, including the foil McFarlane Spider-Man there. And tons of foil, because I wouldn't be friends with Paul if I didn't have tons of foil. That's a brand new Punisher #1 Red Band edition.
Oh, and there's some Batman Day stuff there.
The blind bag Delato Batman on the bottom right. And then those are the Batman Day exclusives, the Virgin foil for Absolute Batman #1. I guess it'd technically be the 8th print, but it's the Batman Day edition. And then the upcoming DC Finest collection will be Batman Year 2. So they did a foil Batman Day exclusive for that. So those are all in there, as well as Signed CGC 9.8 Suicide Squad #1 Liber Mayo cover. Since without the Suicide Squad, we wouldn't be where we are with Peacemaker. So picked up that bad boy for the giveaway. So all that's going to one lucky winner in the Legion tier.
Boom. Sick box, bro.
Radio Room Steve. I love how that's going to live with you forever, dude.
It is. And every time it's Jason bringing it up, but no big deal.
Yeah, it was DJ that time.
Well, no,
I don't know if he saw Jason mentioning it earlier. He just popped in.
That is true.
Yeah, House of L, what is going on? DJ, what's up? Plus more books on the back.
There we go.
Yeah, dude. The walkthrough Argus really set the stage when Peacemaker and Harcourt try to start moving through Argus, and she explains to him where he happens to be. He's like, "How did I miss?" She's like, "How'd you miss this? Like, there's a copy of Mein Kampf on every desk." And he told her, "You don't get a sculpted body like this by reading." Well, what about the giant mural of Hitler? He's like, "How did I miss that?" Like,
dude, imagine you. Okay, someone tweeted this. They're like, imagine DC Studios hires you, and your one job is to paint a Hitler mural on the wall, dude.
Yeah,
that would be crazy.
I think I was talking. It had to be with Links after the stream or during the stream. How much it has to suck or how weird it has to be, because like how Gunn was having to talk to these actors beforehand. There's other people though, like the people that had to do wardrobe stuff. There was a croc floating in the shoe that had one of those croc charms with a swastika on it. There's a giant mural. There's copies of Mein Kampf everywhere. There's the little flags, but they're like they had to make all this stuff for this show. Like that's crazy. Kevin asks, do you think Alien Earth will get Emmy nominations at next year's telecast?
Maybe
it does,
special effects or whatever. If they do.
Yeah, it would have to be just from a technical standpoint. That show just fell off a cliff, man. After that awesome like throwback flashback episode they did with 5, it just lost the plot. Do you think Warner Brothers Sinners will get Oscar nominated?
Nah,
I don't think so. I enjoyed it, but I don't think so. Well, I don't know. We got to see what else comes out because I don't know. It's kind of niche with the horror and everything, action horror, but that's another one. It really didn't know how to end. I really enjoyed it though. I like how they made like the concept of music its own character. But do you think Jeremy Allen White will get Oscar? I don't know.
He's a great actor, dude.
He might.
He's a great actor.
In that Prestige movie where he plays Bruce Springsteen, right?
I don't know.
Yes,
I believe he is. Right?
Yep.
So he might for that because the Oscars love those type of movies.
He's phenomenal, dude. He's phenomenal.
That's a good point. They could also just be visual effects. It could have just. And if you used the early version of Google's Gemini AI, you can easily get that mural.
They could probably just walk over to wherever they're storing, wherever they put all the props from the Man in the High Castle, and just raid that and use them.
Oh yeah. They have to have some of the stuff like laying around the props department. Yeah.
So Pops made a comment before about I can't think of Tim Meadows' character's name now. Flurry. That one. That's the rumor that I saw too. Is that he's actually the Martian Manhunter.
Dude.
All right, well that's where we got to get to this. All right, the whole pushing Superman so fast, if this universe, the DCU is going to fail from the start if they allow it just to be this camp fest, this big jokey joke thing. Like that's why I was like I'm not like stoked about the idea of this being so intertwined in Superman. I've said it from before the show started. Superman does not belong in this show. He doesn't fit tonally in this show. You can't expect the audience that you marketed to for Superman to have to miss out on Superman content because you put it in a very R-rated show. Like everything doesn't fit with everything. And that's what they were talking about before any of this started. They said everything's going to have its own creative direction and creators will have freedom to do this and that. Well, right now it's just too much James Gunn because we're not seeing that creative diversity. We're not seeing these different tones. We're not seeing none of that. And now you're already like really pushing Superman into the Peacemaker show. You're already moving Superman up on the schedule slate instead of leaning into your other projects or finding ways to help support them and get them out there quicker. It's just, it's got me a little nervous here again got me a little nervous. Peacemaker, yeah. I was like, how'd I miss that?
Right.
But yeah, it makes me nervous. All I can say is we have to get to Lanterns
Yep.
soon.
Yep. Exactly.
So we
And
got to get there
Clayface.
soon. Yes. I think it's easy to, I guess, the other ones to kind of get more press, more talk. It's Superman, but
I think they got to tie into Supergirl and Lanterns because that's the next two projects. But specifically, like you said, Lanterns has got to play some sort of part in this finale. Has to.
I'm of mine. I don't want the next Superman movie being a part of this finale. I don't want Supergirl a part of this finale. I don't want nothing a part of this finale. I want this to be open and closed like season 1 was self-contained. I want all of this DCU stuff to be self-contained and just happen to, like Steve, like for example, what you did yesterday on Saturday and what I did yesterday on Saturday were self-contained to our own lives and our own places, but we just did it in the same world. That's how the DCU needs to be. And they can, like, we happen to call each other. Oh, you tied Mark and Steve's lives together. Like, it does not need to be this MCU interconnected homework kind of thing. If they start doing that from the jump, they're going to ruin this. They're going to ruin it before it takes off. And that kind of scares me.
It sounds like everyone's believing that we're going to get Blue Beetle in a finale, and everyone's been thinking also Booster Gold. Who do you guys think is going to show up in the finale?
Now, I would be fine for that because Beetle is Charlton ultimately. You know, Beetle is Charlton, and that belongs here. And I've been wanting Charlton stuff, and that kind of separates it away from your tent pole. You know, like this Peacemaker should be like a passion project niche thing. You know what I mean? It's 30-minute episodes. They haven't thrown the kitchen sink at the budget for this thing, and it's a hard R-rated kind of thing.
Right,
but that was one of my earliest predictions going into this was I hope they explain Ted Kord and use this as a lead into the Blue Beetle animated show or something, just so we can get Blue Beetle in the live action. But I don't know.
Everyone's been saying that that candy world that they're showing's got to be some sort of imps in there or something like Mixie Pitlick or whatever.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
That would make sense on the Twitter machines.
What are the other doorways that we look into in that trailer for next week? You had a list of them. You know, the black hole.
So we have the black hole, we have the monster one, we have the candy world, and then we have the spider one, which that's what the Strange Tales cover or whatever.
Yeah. Something of terror, wasn't it?
Terror Tales, I think maybe that's what it is. Because Eris Quinones put it out on
Eris was like the third person to put it out. And I love how everyone who puts it out like, hey, no one knows this but me. And then they do a video, but you look like 3 days before it was on Key Collector, like the day that the episode dropped.
Yeah, it's a LB Cole cover for Startling Terror.
Yeah, you got to give Key Collector their credit. They've got some really good, knowledgeable people that help keep the information update on that thing. It's a lot of information with it, and they were really fast. I think that was I saw them post on Instagram like cover spider skeleton, and then people in the comments like, "There's also one on this book. There's also one on this book." So apparently, skeletons with spider legs were pretty popular in that time.
I agree with what Taylor Winder just said.
I think any cameo will just be a cameo. I don't think it's going to be an extended appearance. Yeah. And I don't, at this point, if they just do like a cameo fest through doorways, what are we doing other than just wasting minutes we could be spending, like getting something meaningful out of it? So like maybe an after credit, a walk on something. I don't know, but we're so far along in it. We have work to do still. We have Christopher.
Even that small cameo that they did this episode where they had that guy from Lex Luthor's group or whatever that found the penguin, like
soak the keyboard.
It was totally unnecessary. He basically sat down, he pushed a button, and it's there, and then that was it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see what they do. Like I don't know what resources they're going after. So that'll be interesting.
I think any and everything that they can just be the first one to get their hands on, right? Just I don't think they know. They just want it, whatever it is.
Well, so I was texting you about this, maybe it was last night or today, I can't remember. But go back to what was it, episode 4 or 5, whenever we see how they got that doorway from those aliens. And we know that there's a doorway on like all these different dimensions, Earths, whatever it is. I mean, could that alien race be Brainiac's race? And that's how he's getting all this information, all this stuff from all these different worlds, how he has a doorway to all these different worlds. I kind of think that's how it'll go. But you also said it could be the new gods or something, right?
Yeah, the two theories that I heard are either Brainiac or new gods that people are talking about. But I think the Brainiac one would make more logical sense if we're all running with the assumption that he's going to be the Man of Tomorrow villain. If that little creature was running for its life, trying to get away from Brainiac with this tech, its soul off his ship or something. And, oh yeah, I do, don't I?
You really do. You really do look like you're sitting right in that suit. Just perfect.
It molds right into the Blue Dragon background.
That is perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Don't call me that. I don't believe what they believe.
Okay, so someone also said it was interesting outside of Flurry not being in the last episode. We didn't get to see Rick Flag Jr. in the last episode either. What was he doing this whole time? And
He was there. We saw him in the command center. He
was.
Yeah, he went and got mustache guy. Remember in the beginning?
No. Rick Flag Jr.
Oh, Junior. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't in Argus. Where's he been since we last saw him?
Exactly. And is he going to show up as Captain Atom in the finale?
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to get, but if we get Captain Atom in a doorway, I mean, I'm gonna be excited to see him and sad that that's all we get of him, thinking that's how they just use him as a passerby.
Okay, so I know I said I agree with Taylor Winder earlier, but what if these doorways, like they're getting the information, Rick Flag Sr. is going to have the information. He's going to know what worlds certain heroes are in for when Brainiac comes, for when other dark side, whoever comes. Like, okay, if we need more help, a crisis on an infinite Earth type thing, we can go to Earth 3 and go get whoever. We can go to Earth 10 and go get whoever. Earth 99, since apparently 99 doors, which is stupid.
Right. And there's got to be logically, there have to be, if there's 99 doors, there have to be 99 of those contraptions, right? That will open the door from each side, right? So just because they gave them one, that's no big deal. Doesn't mean that people can't still come to ours.
Well, what if there's 52 doors?
That would have made too much sense.
Okay, so there's 99 doors, but what if there's 52 doors that lead to Earths with heroes in it? You know what I mean?
You want to know where it gets crazy, Steve? And you go into one of these doors, and in every one of these doors, there's another machine that goes to a different door with all these other doors. It could be infinite if they wanted it.
It could be, and that's how they get the crisis on Infinite Earths, right? Because, like you said, inside that Earth is another 99 doors, and inside that one is another 99. Yeah, so I agree.
Man, they should have just said 52 though, just for the fans' sake. If we're not going to open all 99 doors, if you're not going to open more than 52 doors in front of us, why didn't you just say 52?
They're not going to open 52 doors. They don't have time to open 52 doors.
They only have 57 minutes.
They've only opened 3 so far.
Yeah, they're probably going to show us
a little bit more,
10 to 20, 10 to 20, 20 at max.
Yeah, if they do a montage, the
but
little
that's kind of like the Flash movie. Then, if they do that, though,
that's what I'm saying. Like, if we get cameos, I'm thinking we're going to get a cameo montage. James Gunn did reply to some commenter saying, "I don't know where everyone's getting the idea of all these cameos and stuff. Where are they coming up with this? Well, kind of just common sense, you know? Like,
absolutely.
That doesn't mean it's going to be right, but it's a fair assumption for people to think. I saw where there's that clip of him in the Peacemaker podcast talking about Ultraman at the end of the Superman movie, explaining to the guys like he's a clone of Superman and he's a little bit different than the comic version. The comic version is from Earth 3, where he's just a bad guy Superman and he's on a team called the Crime Syndicate. And it kind of begs the question at the end of Superman, when he goes into that black hole, you know, where did he go and when will we see him again? And I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to see him again. We got a lot of other stuff we could do.
Yeah, for real.
You kind of burn the Ultraman angle with the mindless clone. I didn't see him do not one single line of kryptonite.
Nope. Exactly.
But there's
Superman was eating kryptonite way back in the 70s.
Yeah. And they upgraded him here recently. He's just doing it like cocaine.
I'm kind of mad. that I have to work Thursday night. They moved the football game from Friday to Thursday. And so while everyone is watching the finale, I'm going to be working, and I don't want anyone to message me. I want to go home and watch it at 11 p.m. at night and then go to sleep and have to go back to work the next day.
Dude, you know to stay off social media because
I will definitely stay off.
The official pages, James Gunn, HBO, Peacemaker, DC, all the official pages share spoilers as soon as the show airs.
You tend to post more on Instagram when you say you're staying off social media, Steve.
You calling me out here, bro? You calling me out? I'm not gonna watch that show. And I watch it all the time. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I'm gonna like I can't really even watch it during halftime because halftime is our homecoming celebration, so I can't even watch it. Like I'll have to try to watch it here and there, but
watch your DMs also.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right. Yeah.
I'm at the point now, like we've gone through this with me again, like I didn't put my expectations in the wrong place, but I had like my a list of hopefuls, you know, like if these things happen, I'm going to be ecstatic. If they don't happen, oh well. The show's delivered something unique, and it's been completely unpredictable when it really comes down to it. Like a couple of things like managed to kind of expect the direction to, but like it's wildly unpredictable what happens in this show, and it's been such an enjoyable experience. And at this point, with whatever we get from the finale, I'm sure he's going to stick the landing. There's no way he's not. But my list of hopefuls is limitless right now, and the possibilities are limitless right now. And I don't see how they can miss. And I know you mentioned how they closed up a lot of the plot threads. This show is largely gone in a direction that's not like narratively driven more than it is just character driven, specific to Peacemaker. We dabble in the other characters and stuff. We have scenes here and there, but it's really that detailed breakdown of Christopher Smith. And for it being a penultimate episode, we closed off a couple of these plot threads with his dad, with his brother, getting him back home. But this is the most broken Peacemaker Christopher Smith has been since he was introduced in the Suicide Squad. He just a shell of who he thought he was. There's no place for Peacemaker, no place for Christopher Smith. He's content in a cell, just accepting the fact that he's toxic and deadly to anything and everything he comes near. And I'm having, man, it's hard to fathom that they can take him from that point of existence into some kind of like happy note ending to this season. And there's no announcement of any plan for season 3. So I'm nervous in that aspect. I want to see this story continue somewhere. Do y'all think we'll be getting Peacemaker and something else guaranteed here soon? Or
I bet we get another Suicide Squad movie, and I bet we'll get another season 3 at some point. He has said that Peacemaker is his favorite thing he's ever done, and it stars his wife as well. Why would he not continue to give his wife more work? Like, why would he not do that, especially if he loves it so much?
Dude, I hope that plays out just like you pointed that out. You know, they have the Amanda Waller series that they're supposed to be doing something.
Argus could definitely play in lots of different things. So it's like,
absolutely.
you know, it's not like it'd have to be so she could definitely be in other things too. But yeah, I mean, the only other thing, I mean, if they find a way to, you know, if I'm not sure we're necessarily done with his brother yet, because I think he might try to come back through the door to come after Chris.
Yeah, what a bold move by Harcourt.
Right.
She was about to kill him. He's got to come back at some point.
What did she say? I'm sorry, I can't have you coming for him.
Yep.
And having said that, could Rick Flag Jr. come with him somehow, and then we get Rick Flag Jr. on our Earth, and the Flags are reunited. Then we have, you know, Chris could kind of say, okay, you know what, he's not dead anymore, even though he did kill him. He's like, okay, you know what, but you know, he's back, you know. So there could be that type of a resolution.
I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think this will be the start of like a multiverse type thing with all these different doorways to different Earths, or do you think it'll be the ending of it, like shutting it down from the beginning? Because it feels like there's a little bit of fatigue of like the multiverse stuff that Marvel is doing and all of that. What do you guys think?
I think if they use it just as a springboard for other stories and don't necessarily have to connect all these different universes, and I'm visiting this universe now and then that universe, you know, and they're going back and forth. But if they have you know, a a, a universe with Earth 2 or whatever, that has all the Earth 2 characters, or we have all the Earth 3 or the Earth Earth S, where suddenly we get Shazam or whatever, and they tell stories on those Earths. It's part of the multiverse, but you don't have to have people from Earth S coming over to here and doing all that connecting, which is what Marvel was doing.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
If they do a multiverse thing, they're stupid. Like from the start, the multiverse was dead on arrival with Doctor Strange, so much so that South Park started ripping on it. The Flash was another thing. It's not hard to read the room, and if they can't read the room, the general audience was not with it for the multiverse stuff. They're just crazy. But if they don't take the opportunity to take the quantum folding doors as the in continuity on screen way that you open, like how we get the DC studio thing where it shows Superman, you should get that, and it should twist and spin, and boom, you see that door, and then as a viewer you go into and it says DC Elseworld, and you don't know what door you're going to go to.
That's what I'm saying. Use it as a springboard for stories, but don't necessarily have to have all the universes each other.
Then you get Batman 2. That's how you get. That's how you go into Batman 2.
Well, I wouldn't mind that either.
That would be the way you tell. Like they announced they're doing Elseworld stuff. That's this should be our platform for Elseworld. Like kind of like a Tales from the Crypt intro. Like you go into the house and you get down to the Crypt Keeper who opens the book and it starts the tale. But we go into the quantum folding closet and we go to the door. Earth this, Gaslight, the epic crime saga.
And I want to hear Rick Flag Sr.'s voice every time they talk about it.
I want to hear Rick Flag Jr. take us through it.
And I mentioned this last week, but James Gunn has said that the end of episode 8 is how he originally explained the DC universe to Safran and Zaslav.
Whatever his name is. Every time, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think is going to happen then? Like, what's your prediction?
I think we're going to still have the multiverse in it, but I think it's going to be he's going to use it to springboard stories, but it's not going to be this guy comes from this universe,
crisscrossing over.
Exactly, right.
But they talked about at the beginning of Superman that this on this Earth there's been metahumans for 300 years though.
But
that's still this Earth. You know what I mean? Like you can tell stories where I think our Earth 1, just like in the comics, is going to be primary. When you go pick up Gotham by Gaslight that's coming out right now, it's not crossing over with the main Earth.
No,
if you go get the Green Lantern from the Tangent universe, it's not crossing over. It's just Elseworld. It's just standalone. Dark Knights of Steel, just stand alone. Whatever. Like I think that's they're going to let a multiverse exist, but they're not going to make it narratively have to work with each other. But that also leaves the opportunity down the road if everything's going good and fans are calling for, oh man, just think if they get out of that door and they go over here, but it gives you the ability to tell a live action Dark Knights of Steel if you want, where the viewers are introduced to this concept. But this is the physical, it's a visual representation of the multiverse. It's a room with doors, and there's a different world behind every door. Where the Flash tried to describe it with spaghetti, and MCU tried with these incursions.
Tell a Kingdom Come story without having to have him interact with the current David Corn Sweat.
You know what else is behind one of those doors, Steve? The Snyderverse.
I was gonna say it has to be the DCEU. Has to be.
The DCEU is behind.
We are 100% getting a cameo from the DCEU. 100%.
I hope it's Rick Flag.
I don't know. He took pains. I mean, maybe that's why he changed the in the first episode to make it all but he took pains to actually change everything in the first episode.
Yeah, because season 2 Peacemaker is not season 1 Peacemaker. Right. This Earth is slightly different, and it goes back to like that flashback with Rick Flag and Harcourt together at the start of that episode where he was talking about Enchantress. That was the day that he was leaving for Corto Maltese.
Right.
And he was dating the Huntress, who was a witch. She's not a witch at the end of the first Suicide Squad. They killed Enchantress and June Moon was free of her. Rick Flag crushed the heart of Enchantress. But in Peacemaker season 2, June Moon is still the Enchantress. Mm-hmm. That's not the same Rick Flag as the first Suicide Squad. This is the same Rick Flag as the second Suicide Squad and Peacemaker season 2. There's similarities, but they're different worlds.
I wonder if they're going to explain that.
I think that was their way of doing it a little bit, but I'm wondering if they kind of do it a little more with these doors. Like if they open one up and you get a glimpse of like the end of season 1 of Suicide Squad with the original ending, like him seeing Peacemaker carrying Harcourt, cussing out the Justice League for showing up late.
So it sounds like you guys think this is kind of going to be like a live action what if, kind of like what Marvel did, where there's different worlds and different people that are different ways than it normally is, but it's live action. They're doing it through different doors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we call it
Okay.
Elseworld.
Well, obviously,
We don't say the W word around here. I'm just kidding.
Love it.
What is going on, JMed? And that's your reminder to go to Kickstarter/Eric.
I read why he called it that. It was good.
You got to go check it out. These Ivan Tao covers are insane. They're sick with it. It's fully funded, guaranteed to come out. But are we getting bookmarks? We're almost there.
To have bookmarks.
Oh, dude, he was a savage. Yo, talk about
so
the way
good.
he went out too. When Harcourt jumped through the door and did the spin, and she just looks back and you just see Vigilante doing like a ballet of murder and closing the door in motion.
It was amazing. Freddie Stroma is awesome.
Yeah,
his range is insane.
Absolute psychopath. Scrabble. It's like Scrabble.
I think the finale is going to get.
Cheetos aren't as good in this universe.
Yeah.
It's
Cheerios ends in an H.
Bloodhaven.
Yeah.
Bloodhaven.
Bloodhaven. Ugh. That became an annoyance online.
I think we're going to get some TV cameos. I think we're going to get some Snyderverse cameos and some Charlton cameos as well. We'll see. I think it'll be like a lot of, like you said, like a montage, and like they're going to play music because he's all about music and going through different doors. I think it'll be like 10 minutes of stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I can see that easily happening, because I mean, if you want to have fun with it, just to show us what's behind a good number of them. And can you imagine like if it was like me just being lame, you'd open a door and there's Nolan verse, you open a door, there's the Snyder verse, you open a door, but I mean that does it really, like, as fun as that is, but like with Flash, it really does cheapen what you're doing to a degree.
Yeah,
because you make that be the memorable moment, and it downplays the rest of the stuff. So I'll be honest with you, I really don't know what I want, because it's one of those things where, of course, all these things will be fun and cool, but what does that absolutely do to the totality of the episode and the experience? You know,
nothing's gonna meet our expectations at this point. It feels like it like if you go back and watch a Doctor Strange 2 movie, like everyone said it sucked because all the cameos did not do it justice. They killed off all these people like super quick, like the Inhuman guy and Captain Britain and all of that stuff, man.
That
movie because it was basically, if you're doing cameos just for fan service, then that's not the right reason to do them, to me.
Yeah, well, what they did, and it's easy to figure out why Doctor Strange did it so poorly, because they introduced the Illuminati that people were very excited for, but they introduced this bastardized, weird version of them, and they roll out Reed Richards, they roll out Professor X, characters that people were legitimately wanting in the MCU as a way to get the ball rolling, and they introduce them just to nerf them for the sake of Wanda and to kill them off like they're all idiots, and they all died being the most stupid versions of themselves you could ever imagine. And it was just it was like, dude, like, it was just, you're scratching your head like, yo, who wrote this? This is just kind of goofy. But I can do this all day. No, you can't. You just died.
Right.
It was, I'm the smartest man in the world. Well, then why are you standing here telling a witch that?
Right.
Why are we supposed to think that Black Bolt can implode his own head with an explosion that can't even hurt him to begin with? If he can die from his voice, he wouldn't even be alive. Mm-hmm. But that's neither here nor there. I'll go down my Disney rants. Insert standard Disney rant from me. Just think back to one of the many I've had it fits in this show right here. Let's take a look at the new history of the DC universe, because while we're wondering what the DCU is going to be doing moving forward and the possibilities are limitless, meanwhile, in the comics in the DC universe, they're solidifying the history of it. It's so vast. It's been around since 1938. It's been building on itself over numerous stories, over numerous massive events, universe-changing events, resets, all kind of stuff. There's a lot that you have to catch up on. So from time to time, DC Comics puts out a story that kind of just reminds reader what exactly it is. And we had issue 3 of that drop here recently.
Yes. And we ended the last episode with basically the end of the Crisis on Infinite Earths was where we ended.
We're jumping into the 90s and the early 2000s with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Which Crisis on Infinite Earths was really the big first shakeup that they did in comics to that level.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole thing is being narrated by the Scarlet Speedster himself, Barry Allen, who has deep ties to the Crisis events.
Exactly.
A crisis
is
the death of a Flash somewhere along the way.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and this one plays out a lot like issue 2 did. It's a lot
when
more
he's not
fast
dying,
paced.
he's killing people.
Yeah. This one's a lot pretty fast paced, where the first one going through like the creation of the universe itself, a lot of these golden age characters that we don't get to see a lot of us aren't familiar with. It felt more exploratory than issue 2 did. Felt very, very familiar. So going through this, for the most part, we're just going through to see when there's possibilities of more than one continuity history to choose from. We're seeing what they're choosing from, and we're seeing if they're making any subtle changes or even major changes to what we have assumed the standard continuity is. A good example of that is when Frank Miller did Batman Year One. It unintentionally became the Batman canon origin story, despite his origin being told numerous times. That one was so good and so well received that it's the standard accepted origin by readers without even communicating with each other. So this is a chance for DC to communicate directly with us and let us know the details. So this is what we're doing. Following the death of Crisis, my nephew Wally jumped in. So we're seeing right after Crisis, like we said, Barry died. So Wally became the Flash, which that's what you see there. Also, you get to see the first appearance of Booster Gold and the hero from the future coming back. And this is where they introduced some of the characters that stayed on after Crisis. Power Girl being an example. She was Supergirl of Earth 2. And then they introduced Shazam, originally a Golden Age character. He's now getting his first appearance right here. And this goes back to outside of the books, outside of the history. Captain Marvel was owned by Fawcett Comics. They had like legal troubles and stuff with DC and everything, and they eventually bought him out, and they rolled him in with Power Shazam #1 and brought him in officially during Crisis. So you're going to see a lot of characters that might have deeper history in comics getting their first appearance in the timeline with DC here in the late 80s, and that's why
that was such a good run too, the Joey Ordway run.
When they took it serious.
Yeah.
All right, Paul, going through some teams.
Yeah, so we get the introduction of Justice League, which becomes Justice League International. We take a look at Justice League Europe, and so we kind of see how the Justice League has basically gone global, and then we jump right into the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but I do want to point out Maxwell Lord comes into here. Sean Gunn's character in the DCU. Yep. He was kind of the business conglomerate that was helping organize it all. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, where there's good guys or bad guys, Amanda Waller. This gets into the DC Legends from the 80s.
Yep.
When they take Task Force S and upgrade it to Task Force X and run it with villains and stuff. And y'all see my man with the flat top. In a Suicide Squad of her own under command of Rick Flag Jr., Super Select villains could be temporarily released from Belle Reve Prison if they consented to an explosive brain implant that Waller used to ensure their cooperation. So this is interesting because there's been some convolution with the Suicide Squad history. In the Secret Origin series is when they introduced the whole concept of Rick Flag Sr., and it gets a little dicey. It's literally a convoluted history where when Suicide Squad was originally written, there was only one Rick Flag, and he was like the military guy with the military team fighting stuff on Dinosaur Island and stuff like that. But when they did Secret Origins, they kind of split the difference, and it gets a little confusing where there's a Rick Flag Sr. that was back there in those times with Squadron S, and then a Rick Flag Jr. that gets brought in to lead the villains. They kind of solidify that with this. Like the first time Rick Flag Jr. comes in is with this right here. So I thought that was super cool. But you got Nightshade on there, who's one of your Charlton characters being brought in.
Sword Steel, Peacemaker, they're all
other Charlton characters being brought in, and there's General Ealing, who actually is brought in the Captain Atom series. So he's Captain Atom adjacent right there. So that Peacemaker drawing looks dope. But then we get over to the Doom Patrol. They just kind of start giving us a who's who of teams. There's like an explosion of teams at this time.
Right, and this is the Doom Patrol that basically started in its own, and then it joined Vertigo. Vertigo when Grant Morrison took them over. So this is that group here crawling out of the records. And I thought it odd that they spent time actually talking about Nort, but I'm okay with Nort. I like Nort.
Yeah, not sure why they did that, but it's pretty cool. You also get Dawn, who'll be joining Hawk in the future, and then you get Starman. Another Starman entered the field when his predecessor, the late Prince Gavin, was reincarnated on Earth in the body of a magazine editor, Will Payton. But here's the Dominators, the Kuns. You're kind of getting the cosmic characters there.
Which is from I think it's probably from the Invasion storyline, right?
They solidify John Stewart with the Mosaic story and all that stuff, and Legion and the whole destroying of the planet we couldn't
Cosmic
save.
Odyssey.
Yep. Steve, I know you recognize this one coming in hot.
Yeah, so they've changed the origin, or I guess not. I guess it's the origin of Red Hood and Jason Todd's death. They've changed it from the explosion in a warehouse to basically Jason Todd now being killed by being beaten over the head with a crowbar from Joker. So they have officially changed, just like they did with Batman Year One. How Jason Todd died, even though that is a iconic story, Death in the Family. They've changed how he dies and how he becomes Red Hood.
Yeah, he definitely gets crowbarred in the original, but they don't specify the explosion in this. It does look like he's just getting beat to death. But we get the Killing Joke right behind Death in the Family.
Yep.
And Batman rolling in, Tim Drake, Huntress. And then we get some of the fun stuff here when we get a Vanishing Point and Rip Hunter and all them coming to play.
This was all the Zero Hour stuff.
Yeah, they're building up to 0 Hour, which this whole event with 0 Hour was a way that DC was trying to fix a couple of continuity threads that were still hanging after Crisis on Infinite Earth. And that was a really fun story. It wasn't necessarily well received at the time. I mean, following Crisis on Infinite Earth, what are you going to do? But me and Paul both went back and read this when they were doing the 30th anniversary. And I got to tell you, 30 years later, this book slaps. This is freaking good, man.
It's Mark Waid writing it, right?
No, Dan Jurgens.
Dan Jurgens, yeah.
Oh, Dan Jurgens is writing
wrote it and did the art.
Yeah, and one of us on the panel might have gotten the very first Dan Jurgens comic works slabbed up this weekend.
I wonder who that would be.
Wonder who that could be. But yeah, and this is cool. Get some legacy stuff. Got some Jesse Quick, aka Liberty Bell, and Rex. So we're getting some legacy characters run through the JSA.
And then we hit the grim and grit of the 1990s, and it's like, let's do the worst thing possible to all of our superheroes. So we killed Superman, but we brought him back. We broke Batman's back, but we brought him back.
Which, to be honest with you, like those are two iconic moments for not just the characters in comic book history. So like I don't fault them for doing that.
Yeah, and it was a direct response to Image, right?
Yep.
Like Image was getting gritty. They were doing these sales, DC, Marvel. They're like, what are we gonna do? And good old wasn't it Wheezy? Walt Simonson's wife.
Who did
let's kill Superman.
No, it was
it was one guy. He said it every single meeting.
Yeah, Jerry Ordway or something. Whenever they had their summit, he would always just say, let's just kill him.
Let's just kill him.
And at the time, Superman and Lois was on the Lois and Clark, The Adventures of Superman was on TV, and
Yep.
they were going up to the wedding, so they wanted to do the wedding story at the same time, but they had all these months between. They wanted to coincide with the TV thing, so they used that time to do the whole Doomsday and Death of Superman storyline.
I agree. Phil Ailing as Rail is amazing. His suit is amazing.
His Batman suit is.
It's
Yeah.
just insane, dude.
Yeah, and John Paul Valley kind of loses his mind, and Batman has to come out and shut him down. And this is where we get into some good stuff. So this goes back. Yeah, I did a whole video on how James Gunn needs to quit playing stupid and just bring the milestone characters into DC. And it's simple how you do it, and they just did it right here again. They're just there.
Right.
You know, Dakota is just a place in America. Like, there's no reason for it to have to be its own universe. It's just a city like Gotham is, like Metropolis is, Central City, Dakota, and that's what they've done. In issue 1, we had a Icon land in the 1800s, and now here we are in the city of Dakota. The gas goes out, and we get all of our milestone stuff brought into DC canon proper. So now moving forward, we have the Batman Beyond Static crossover coming this month, I believe. But in main normal time continuity, they can roll in our milestone characters. Like, there's no reason Static shouldn't pop up in the grand event of DCKO somewhere, since we're using so many characters, or Icon shouldn't roll in, or Hardware, somebody. But they solidified Milestone is not a separate universe now.
Right. And in the very next page, we get Icon, and we get a whole bunch of hardware.
Gives you a little context of those. We get some more of those Grit 90 characters popping up with Hitman there, and
from Bloodlines.
Yeah,
the Bloodlines storylines in the annuals.
And then I know you recognize that iconic image.
Yeah,
Parallax taking over.
I think there's even like a statue of that or something that just came out recently with all the rings on it.
I'm surprised it's not already behind Paul. But yeah, with the tragedy that was Hal Jordan taking out the core and everything, a new Lantern arises with Kyle Rayner. Same with the Speedster. We get Impulse rolling in. We get Natasha, and we get Damage, who's a descendant of the original Atom Smasher. He has an interesting trek through time. And then we get to 0 Hour proper, where Parallax teams up with Extant to try to create entropy in the universe and just to destroy it and remake it the way he sees fit. And ultimately, it's used to shut him and Extant out by the heroes and everything. And ultimately, he'll come back again. But we at the end of that series, we see the rise of almost like the next wave of legacy characters.
Right. Wasn't it right after 0 Hour that they did go 1 year later, I believe, right?
I don't remember that. I remember they did 1 year later after Infinite Crisis.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, the Jeff Johns one. Like, after Infinite Crisis #6, the very next issue of every comic was 1 year later.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Like, that's when like Tim had the updated suit and everything. And yeah, at the end of this, like you have like Jack Knight getting the staff and Connor popping up and Barbara getting her proper.
That's pretty cool the way that the end of every single issue, basically, when it like just faded into a white page.
Yeah.
Of every comic, basically. Just
I'm excited to read it. I'm really excited to read it.
0 Hour?
No, this.
Oh, this, yeah.
But this book.
Yeah, this point right here is they're still on that 0 Hour point. This is where you get some redemption from Parallax. He comes in and stops Solaris and Final Night, the 5 issue. Yeah, that was pretty dope. Darkness comes over everything. That's where he dies. Like, that's where Hal goes out. And then we got the wedding, obviously, after the return of Superman, that famous cover there, and the reformation of the Justice League. And then was subsequently regrouped. The time as the Justice League of America, operating from a watchtower based on the moon, the JLA set a new standard for valor as its memberships grew. And you see Aztec right there on the far left. Yeah. Brother John just got Aztec #1 in a CGC 9.8.
Yep.
Yeah, that's like Sun Eater. But yeah, I saw that he got that. I'm like, dude, that's one that's on my Mark Miller list because it's a little lesser known work of Mark Miller with Aztec.
Right.
But dude, That was crazy. I've never even seen it in 9/8. And here we go.
Young Justice, and we get the DC 1 million.
Love it.
And there's Solaris. There's a big old battle with that. And there's the Android Hour Man too. That's another one of Brother John's faves. And then we get into some more characters like Cassandra Cain rolling in, Harley Quinn rolling in,
Harvey Bullock.
Harvey Bullock. Wasn't he brought over from the animated series?
He might have. Yeah.
I know Harley
I'm not
was.
sure about that.
I think Bullock might
What did you
have
say?
been.
What was his name? Harvey Bullock?
Harvey
Yeah.
Bullock. Yeah.
Lex tried to use Aztec as a traitor, but Homeboy had none of it. Cliff says no, he wasn't brought in.
He was he was
There you go.
Batman 361, 1983.
He goes way back then. And then the death of Commissioner Gordon's wife.
Mhm.
And then we get into the Jeff Johns era of JSA. Like legit, this is where Jeff Johns enters the fray of DC Comics. And look at this. This whole era, everything changes. Like the quality of DC ramps up right here in history. You get the introduction of Stars and Stripes. You get the tethering of the Spectre to Hal Jordan and the Judgment Day storyline, where you had what was it, Neuron that went and fiddled with Etrigan's head and they attacked Earth. And then they were using the untethered spirit of the Spectre. And ultimately, our JSA was able to find Hal's spirit and how like tethered to the Spectre to come back. And so that the Spirit of Vengeance had a vessel. And now we get this. What do you go by? Like the Spirit of Justice or something?
Yeah. Yep.
You get a brand new Thunderbolt with Joaquin.
Mhm.
You get Mr. Terrific on the team. Like Sand comes in. You get a lot of the legacy characters. It's just all on. Spirit of Redemption. There it is.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Gets a little weird here. What is this? The Elite Superman versus the Elite?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's Manchester Black, right?
Manchester Black, yeah. What storyline is that? But they fail to secure those files. Oh, the Tower of Babel.
Mm-hmm.
Tower of Babel stuff. Then we get into Hush, rolls into town.
Yeah,
Everyone knows
the
that.
Manchester Elite was in the What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, and the American Way.
Not even a Batman fan, and I knew that. You are a Batman fan, Cliff.
He's a comic.
Shadows continue to fall. A clash between the Titans and the Young Justice resulted in the death of Donna Troy, which ended up disbanding both teams. I wish they would have specified how Donna Troy went out in this, because I always picture, the cyborg shooting her through the chest. Donna Troy is another one with a wild history and backstory. Oh, God.
Identity Crisis.
Oh, my God. Brad Metzger?
Brad Meltzer.
Yeah, Meltzer.
And Carlos Pacheco.
And Rags Morales.
Oh, that's right, Rags Morales.
Yeah,
Covers by Michael Turner, though.
Michael Turner covers Rags Morales interiors and Brad Meltzer. Dude, this story, this is one that I recommend to people all the time. I like to be able to talk to them as they read it. Like when DJ read this one, he's like, "What the fudge?" I'm like, "I know, dude." You find out how tough Slade Wilson is in this story. When Dr. Light's scared of the heroes coming for him, so he goes and hires Slade, and Slade just casually, without moving, just drops the Justice League. I'm like, God.
Green Arrow puts an arrow in his eye.
Yeah. Dude, it's rough. You also find out how tragic the history of some of these people are, like what they've been through. And it's unfortunate the things that they compromise along the way. And those kind of events, those compromises lead us forward into stuff like this with the Superman Batman series, with the return of Supergirl post-Crisis on Infinite Earths, the coming of Supergirl in this new world, and she's corrupted by Darkseid. Most of y'all have seen the animated movie Superman Batman Apocalypse. That's a proper adaptation of this run that Michael Turner did in Superman Batman. They ultimately get her back. We also get Jeff Johns' run on Green Lantern starts.
Rebirth.
Hal back proper. And here you go, Steve. This is what...
Here it is.
This is a little bit of a change, though.
Yeah, this is the change Steve was talking about earlier.
Because originally he was brought back by Superboy pounding the pounding the cage that he was in, and breaking
Okay,
the.
this is another one of those things. This is like, I don't know if they were pressed for time when they did this,
Mhm.
because his return was when Superboy was beating on the fabric of
Right.
reality. He woke up in his grave in the condition that he died in, from
Right.
being beat with a crowbar and blown up. He had a fractured eye socket, he had a
Mhm.
punctured lungs, he had broken ribs, and he's still in that condition because of his training managed to claw his way out of his coffin, out of the ground, and he was wandering the streets of Gotham aimlessly. And one of the members of the league recognized him
Mhm.
despite Jason not knowing himself. They
Right.
picked him up and they took him and they dipped him in the pits to heal him.
Right.
So I feel like they just streamlined it because it says our last rebirth occurred during this time, but with less cause for celebration. The Savage Red Hood, a vigilante without mercy or any code against killing, stood revealed as Jason Todd, revived and trained in secret by Talia al Ghul. So are they streamlining it, or are they just saying that the league went and dug him up, or what are they implying?
See, I'm thinking that they're implying that he didn't come back to life because of anything that Superboy Prime did. That
I
that
agree.
that Talia went and dug him up and brought him back to life. And
To be used as a weapon for her.
right,
Because I know, like, there's been numerous times, like, when they did the movie Under the Red Hood with
Yeah.
Jason Todd
Yep.
dying and coming back, and they streamlined it in that because there's really no way that you can tell that story without getting into the weeds if you try to go down the route of Superboy Prime. Like, there's just really no reason for that.
Yeah, it wouldn't fit in that movie that they did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's kind of felt like they're just some stuff I feel like they do just to save time and without having to unpack an entire, because then you have to unpack Infinite Crisis. Then you have to unpack
Right.
Crisis on Infinite Earths. Then you have to unpack DC Comics Presents. Like, who was Superboy Prime? How did he get here? What do you mean he punched the fabric of reality? Well, go read the most recent issues of Superman. It's kind of his thing now.
Yeah, exactly. But the reason why I don't think
awesome. I love
the
him.
reason why I don't think they're now saying it had nothing to do with Superboy Prime is because 2 pages after this, that's when they start talking about Superboy Prime.
All right, well, let's see it there. All right, then we get the Justice League Dark characters coming in, Nightshade over there. This is the Day of Vengeance stuff more than anything.
Mhm.
So Day of Vengeance was a mini series. There was 4 separate mini series that they ran that led up to Infinite Crisis. You had Day of Vengeance, you had Secret Six, the Omax, Villains United, and that all led into that. And that's what gets us to this, where Maxwell Lord flips his lid, noticing all the craziness that's slowly going on. Like we were pointing out, all these compromises the heroes made, this twisted Supergirl. The standard of superheroes, good versus evil, the good guys always win, stopped happening. In comics, they recognize that over so many years, we've had these characters compromise their moral codes more than once. And when you look at all of these separate events and you compile them together, we don't have our collected morality like we once did in the golden age of comics. And some people are noticing that. Maxwell Lord is one of them. Kills Ted Cord, gets control of the Brother Eye Omax. You have Superboy punching the fabric of reality right here after the fact. So yeah, there it is. It's after it here. Then you have Superboy Prime loaded up, taking on everybody. You got some dead Titans laying around.
They should have had him with an arm in his.
You should have been holding an arm. Yes. Oh man. But from that event, we get Jaime Reyes, we get Ryan Chow, you get the new Batgirl. This is all your 52. This is after the fact.
New Question.
Yep. Renee Montoya.
And
the
the
birth.
Yeah.
Which is, I think that they kind of throw Convergence out the window.
Yeah.
Because they throw this in here. I don't remember when I read through it reading anything on Convergence. And then we get the biggest shock of all, the introduction of a lot of people's favorite Robin now.
Yeah.
I gotta say, he's up there on my list.
Damian Wayne. We do have to talk about Damian Wayne. We do the Sinestro Corps War. We see the all of the different light spectrums and who they have representing them as well. So we get that's Blackest Night and the Spectrum War. We get all that good stuff.
But Darkseid struck first at long last, achieving his ultimate goal.
Time for the final crisis.
Final crisis here, and then you get your new gods.
Right.
And that doesn't last long.
And then we get and that's and the final page. It's like, and that's when I came back.
Yeah, when you get the Miracle Machine.
Yep.
And then Flash Rebirth. Again, most of this stuff at this point is all Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns brought the flashback. Grant Morrison did Final Crisis, but Jeff John did the whole Green Lantern spectrum.
The original Flash Rebirth is one of the best stories I've ever read.
Yeah, this right here.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I would recommend, if you haven't read it, Jeff Johns did Green Lantern Rebirth before that. And
he did. I've read that too.
Hard, it's hard talking to people about that because these Flash Rebirth, Green Lantern Rebirth, both of those stories existed long before the Rebirth was an initiative that was on the header of all the books.
Right. It was right after the New 52. So.
They used it because of that, though, because both of those were so good and so successful. They're like, okay, let's use it for everyone now.
Mm-hmm.
Mark has not been sleeping. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, bro. But yeah, that's the end of book 3.
I'm excited to read it, even though we went through it. I'm excited to actually dive into it and
look at the creative team.
Hey, I did say Mark Waid, and you're like, oh, it's Jurgens.
Oh, I thought
you were talking about Zero Hour.
Oh, I meant the whole issue. I mean, Jurgens and Waid. I mean, I don't know if you can come up with two better guys even to write the history of the DC universe other than them.
It's a good point, Cliff. Yeah, it's hard going through this thing fast, to be honest with you, man. This is a lot. Dude, when you go through this, trying to just recap this thing pretty fast, with just after you read it 2 weeks ago, just looking at these pages again, and keep in mind, like that's like 40 years of comic book history that you're like trying to just look at, and then make sure that you're lining it up with this new telling versus what you assume. But it's mostly all on the newer we get with stuff, the more it seems to align.
Right.
I'm going to be interested to see what book 4 does, because we have to get through the New 52. But knowing what I know, I don't think anything's going to change from that era. All I know is, what we're going to get in book 4, Paul?
What?
I'm going to put a prediction out there now.
DCKO?
No, book 4 of the New History of the DC Universe.
What are we? Elseworlds.
I'm going to predict a character shows up.
Okay.
It's my favorite character to predict that shows up.
Dr. Manhattan's going to be there?
I'm going to predict Dr. Manhattan shows up.
I mean, Doomsday Clock, that wouldn't make sense, kind of, right?
It would, because you notice that we did not get Watchmen at all.
It should have been in there.
Any of that.
Should have been in there.
It's going to be interesting how they fold him in, because I promise you this, issue 4 will have to talk about how Dr. Manhattan created the New 52.
Absolutely.
I hope to God.
The New 52 or the Rebirth?
No, Dr. Manhattan created the New 50. He created the New 52.
Okay.
Yeah, the way he decided to leave his universe to go look for others, more interesting ones, and he spotted ours, and he went back in time to when the train crashed with Green Lantern back in the day. And when Alan Scott crashed that plane, Dr. Manhattan went up to him without being able to see, and he moved the lantern out of his reach.
Yep.
And that butterfly affected the entire universe to get the New 52. And he also ended it.
Right, exactly.
With a little help from others. Yeah, I would definitely. Well, I don't think we're. That's a good point. If there's 2 ways that they can do number 4, they can glaze the New 52 as if it was an event, even though it was years of comics. But Pandora only exists really inside the New 52. And I remember when Dr. Manhattan blasted her, and all we saw was the blue light. Had no idea that was him that did it.
It'll be interesting to see if she's in there, but we have to like a Where's Waldo type thing, like they did when they rolled out the New 52. Like she was in every single first issue.
Yeah,
you remember? Like you had to find her.
That'd be cool. I'm interested if they devote time to go through any of the New 52, being that like the way it is, like it's just a slither of false reality that was corrected. But I want to talk to y'all about KO so bad.
I picture them spending a lot more time.
Send me a digital and I'll read it.
I just have to go just videotape flipping through it.
Yeah, I've asked for copies and haven't. I've been ghosted.
Oh man. Well, it's 10 o'clock. We're definitely not going through a bunch of new books tonight, man. I'm beat.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of new books, and I've spent some time reading to catch up.
How good was
But-
to have this back?
I can't see what that is. Rook, yeah, Rook is back. I read the Starship Godzilla #1, Dead Zone, so I got both of the issues of the Godzilla
And-
Connected Universe. I caught up on Energon.
The end of this one,
Finally,
but the last couple of pages, who's there?
Spectre.
Yep.
Yeah. I read a bunch of stuff this week, man. Department of Truth #0.
And then
Hawk,
this, you mentioned
Hyde
how
Street,
important this is to the KO.
Rook
So
Exodus, yeah, the Omega Pack. But yeah, we'll dive into a lot of these next weekend. If we do that as well, Steve will have his hands on a lot of these if we do that
I'm
too.
excited for it. Well, hold
you
on.
want to have KO because it doesn't come out.
No, he won't have
tomorrow.
KO, but he'll have Omega Pack.
I will not be here next week.
Okay.
I got something going on. I'll tell you about it after the show.
That's
All right. Well, I'll
that's
tell
code-
you
that-
about.
that's
I'll
code for
tell you
KC.
about.
That's code for
KO
KC is
after
playing
the
Sunday
show.
night.
I honestly.
I'm just kidding.
For Mark's caffeine. I appreciate that. So yeah, before we leave, we got to do this giveaway
Yes.
because I was about to forget.
Sorry, Pops.
All right, so let me show everybody what's in this month's Legion Loot. So you can hit that join button, become a channel member if you get in the Legion tier, get your name on the monthly Legion Loot wheel. And we're still celebrating Peacemaker, which in my mind is Suicide Squad. So I'm theming them hard.
It's that time of year.
It's that time of year.
That's right.
At any chance I get to rep the squad and throw it out there, we're doing it. We got Suicide Squad issue #1. This is the Lee Bermejo cover. This is from the Thompson Jin Lee run, and it's signed by Lee Bermejo in a CGC 9.8. We also have the first appearance of Sasha Bordeaux in Detective Comics 751, which is the character from season 2 of Peacemaker, as well as the first appearance of Tiger in Judo Master, which if you watch the show, Tiger is, if you put him in a green costume, that's more Judo Master than the actual Rip Jagger is, but get you some good Charlton Comics goodness in there. And to get more familiar with Sasha Bordeaux, got 1 through 5 of Checkmate, all Lee Bermejo covers, all from that Prelude to Infinite Crisis stuff. And then we have some foil goodness with the Batman Day Absolute Batman #1, as well as Batman Year One. Those are Batman Day foil exclusives. They're both $10 a piece at comic shops. Yeah, the Punisher #1 from the brand new Red Band. That's the foil logo cover. And then the Delato Batman blind bag version there. Then we got some big time collectible goodness with 4 separate exclusives, some Perillo, some Peach Momoko. That's a Todd McFarlane foil Spider-Man up there. And I forget the name of the artist who did the Spider-Gwen, but they're all con exclusives on there except for that Venom one, I believe. And then Blue Falcon and Dino Mutt, that's the 1 in 10 Matina Virgin variant. And then the Phantom #1 that goes to Walks, everybody's favorite jungle superhero, predates Superman. The Phantom does. So that's and you don't know it, but there's actually other books on the back of some of those. And do I have one right here somewhere? The Eric J-Med sent me a stack of ash cans. So the Eric, that Kickstarter book that we're always talking about, the ash can for that is on the back of one of those, as well as the Batman Day, the free books. There's a Batman and Robin Year One, and then that Batman's Year Two. There's one of those on the back, so you got reader copies of those. So there's more books that are even pictured on there.
The winning never ends.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And here's the best part. I brought pictures tonight instead of holding up because I've already packed it up.
Hell yeah.
It up. So
Smart. Work
it'll go
smarter, not harder.
Yeah, it'll go out. Realistically, I boxed it up already because I just didn't want it still laying around. But it'll probably get shipped Wednesday. That's when I'll pass everything off to Pop. So this and whoever wins the Tuesday DC Day live stream. But
let's make it 2 in a row. Let's make
that'd be dope. Dude, think how much good Suicide Squad stuff you'd have.
Dude, I won yours and Paul's giveaway in like the same week. So it could happen again. It could happen again.
Oh, real quick before let me show y'all this real quick. Before we get, I've got I've got other stuff in the works, but already, man, I'm not going to show all this because some of it isn't going to be seen until my video that comes out Wednesday. But these I already have for the October Legion loot. We got Suicide Squad #1, first appearance of John Economos, first ongoing series with the villains there. It's also the first appearance of Belle Reeve. Secret Origins issue #14. If you watch Guess That Key, you know this is one of my favorite comebacks. First appearance of the Rick Flag Senior Junior dynamic thing where they bring him in there. Another key. Strange Love Adventures, the one shot. This is the first appearance of Eagly. So it was one of those anthology books, but it's first appearance of Eagly. And I also have this beautiful from 2021. That was a good year for everybody, right? Nothing weird happened that year.
No.
Suicide Squad issue #1. This is the Gerald Peril variant.
Love
And the
that.
CGC 9.8.
Love that.
So for the finale of Peacemakers in October, it's going to be the last little month to really go hard on Suicide Squad stuff. Of course, there'll be big time collectibles exclusives in there. I got some other stuff off to the side here. I'm not prepared to show off yet. I want some other things to shake and play first. But yeah, some cool stuff, some really cool stuff. And I'm still waiting on stuff that I ordered to come in at ABX. I ordered some DC Finest that I was going to put in with this month's, but I'm just rolling it over to next month's, and I just jam-packed this with even more stuff. So hopefully there'll be a DC Finest that'll go in there as well. Yeah. You can probably guess which one it is.
Let's go.
It's either Suicide Squad or Peacemaker.
Dude, I ordered 2 copies of the Suicide Squad one because I wanted one for my shelf, and I ordered 1 copy of the Peacemaker one because I was going to do another one with Peacemaker. I was going to do Squad 1 month and Peacemaker the other month. But since it's late, I'm just going to do the Suicide Squad one because it'll go with the Suicide Squad one. I'm just going to go ahead and shelf the Peacemaker one too because I need both of them for my shelf anyway. So yeah. But good luck to everybody. I can't wait to get Eric. Dude, it is good. It is good. What's going on, brother? Dude, we talked about you a lot, as well as Aztec. Sasha was once Batman's bodyguard. Yeah, Comic 751. Vesper. Good luck to everybody. Y'all know how this works. I'm going to hit this shuffle until Paul tells me to stop.
Stop.
Now, Steve, do you know what just happened?
I do.
Paul just took on the entire burden of this wheel. If you are watching this and you win, congratulations, and make sure you thank Paul. But if you lose, and there will be more of you that lose than win, remember, it's Paul's fault.
There we go.
Good luck.
I did thank him last time.
You did.
I hope everybody who wins thanks him. He's the randomizer.
Oh, baby, there it is.
Really?
Nice.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Let's go. Let me screenshot that. I'll send that into the chat.
Boom,
He's
baby.
Remy he spent the weekend at he went to go to a show. He had the opportunity to go to a show where he could actually meet Lou Ferrigno in person.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, and some other folks too, but that's fantastic.
Did you see the rumor about Lou Ferrigno?
Yes, as Maestro in Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be
Damn
sick.
it, Paul. Yeah, I know he's probably.
Maybe if you invite me on your show every once in a while, Cliff, maybe you'd win.
Oh,
Hey, hey, look, man. Cliff invited me to his show, Paul, and then he ghosted me, and I'm sitting there at my computer waiting for it one day, and I find out that he has a different guest on. I'm like, oh man, that's crazy. And then he tries to make me feel better, like I need some kind of pity or something. But get this, Vogs was on his show. Like Cliff has literally gone down the list of everybody he wants on his show, and he's gotten to the point where he has Vogs on his show, and I haven't been invited. You haven't been invited. Steve, have you been invited?
I haven't been invited.
Look at that, Cliff.
There you go.
That's 3 people. We're not lying.
Mm-mm. I love messing with Cliff. He takes it personally a little bit. He knows I'm joking, but
Me too.
yeah. Cliff, you know I love you,
Love
buddy.
Cliff. Love Cliff.
Dude, I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out. This is next week is going to be bananas, the finale of Peacemaker.
Mm-hmm.
bananas.
There might be a chance that I could join for like 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
I'll send you the link, my man. Man, I hope everybody has a fantastic week. Oh, dope. I've been there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are you going there for vacation?
I'll talk about it after, but yeah, basically.
Okay. Oh, that's going to do it. I hope everyone has a fantastic night. Don't forget to go to McFarlane Toy Store and go back the Harley Quinn figure right now. You still have some time to do it. It's almost fully funded. This figure is happening. Get your Margot Robbie Suicide Squad, all the accessories, 4 faceplates, 8 hands, all the weapons, the jacket. Back it in tier 3 and get the Jared Leto Joker. You know you want it. Quit pretending like you don't. I do. I backed it. I'm getting it. And if you get it in tier 4, you even get the exclusive comic paint-up version of Harley. That's going to be an expensive figure. People sleep on how expensive these McFarlane figures tend to get. I was at that show this weekend, that Poison Ivy Paw from our Batman Forever set, or Batman and Robin set. You got that set.
Yeah.
Poison Ivy, $190, bro.
Wow.
$190. The question, he's gone up.
I've got that.
Yeah, I did too. I
You
ended
got
up paying.
yeah. You got it at Heroes Con, right?
Yeah, I wasn't able to get it for peg price, but I got it for a good price compared to what it was.
The Spectre Chase one is
$450.
Mm-hmm.
The Hal Jordan Spectre toy is $450.
Mm-hmm.
No, see, peg price, toys hang on pegs. Peg warmers or toys that don't sell. Peg prices is like FMV for a toy. Suggested MSRP. Peg price sounds better. And it makes people say, "Oh my God." Oh, dude, I have nothing bad to say about Jared Leto's Joker.
Here we go. Next week too. Next week we'll also have Tron Ares to talk about as well.
Oh, dude, next week's going to be a Peacemaker finale Tron Ares special. Yeah. Oh, that's going to be good.
And we'll see, can Jared Leto break his bad mojo with Disney?
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think Tron as a franchise has juice like that. Legacy didn't even do good in theaters.
I mean, it looks like it's going to be fun, but I don't think it's going to do well in theaters either.
That you should consider that a compliment, Cliff. Maybe he's just trying to get him to join the cult. Who knows? Remember, we are Legion. Everyone, have a good night. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that join button. Become a channel member before we get to this point next month. The Legion loot for the finale of Peacemaker is going to be massive. See y'all later. Peace.
It's more.
It is, Steve.
It's morphin' time. It's morphin' time, baby.
Only one of us has a parachute. Good luck.